There are many laws in the city that people are unfamiliar with. You cannot leave your car idling longer than 5 minutes at a time. You cannot spit on the sidewalk in any road in the city. As well, it is illegal to own more than 2 dogs in a household. So with all these bylaws, are you familiar with exotic animals? Now, did you know that, snakes, bearded dragons, chinchillas are actually illegal in Windsor right now?
No, I didn't. I didn't know.
No, I didn't.
Yes, I had a pet store tell me that.
I did not know that, actually.
Since March 18, 1985, Bill number 66 passed and the bylaw came into effect. The people of Windsor could no longer own any exotic animals such as ferrets, rabbits, rodents like hamsters and chinchillas, snakes, reptiles and amphibians, turtles, and many more. But why are these harmless animals illegal in Windsor? Brent Robinson, owner of Vivarium Reptiles and Exotics in LaSalle, Ontario, said people should take the time to learn more about these creatures.
I think a lot of people are ignorant to the subject. They just don't understand what some of them are. And with that being said, sometimes there's issues with irresponsible keeping.
He said when people come into a store to buy an exotic pet, he asks them one question: why?
Some people buy an animal because, they really care, and some people, a lot of these animals are being rescued on a regular basis by people who really do care. But there's a lot of people out there who buy, perfect example would be like a caiman or an alligator. You go out and buy that. You buy it because it's small, but it's going to grow. And then what do you do with something that's 6 feet long and, 50 plus pounds?
City Councilor Fulvio Valentinas said it might be worth revisiting the bylaw.
Well, very simply, it's there. I think it's a little more restrictive than it needs to be. I think it's good that, we have a bylaw. You can't have a completely, open season. But by the same token, I think, I know, ours tends to be a little more restrictive than it is in some other municipalities.
There are only 2 places in Canada where you cannot own a hedgehog. One in Langley, British Columbia, the other in Windsor.
I share the same sentiment that, I don't think it's, the bylaw as it stands right now perhaps is where it should be. I don't think it's as much in tune with people's lifestyle and people's expectations and what we know now in terms of the care, the maintenance, and the behavior of different types of animals or species, that perhaps it should be looked at. But, no one's ever made that request. It really hasn't come forward. And as I said, everybody's swamping with other issues. But if someone were to come forward, we've had a lot about this chicken debate. That seems to pop up all the time. But there hasn't really been a similar request in terms of so-called exotic animals, or at least certain, types or species of them.
The City of Windsor bylaw on exotic pets classifies animals not commonly kept in captivity. A bearded dragon is in the same category as a tiger. So what do people think about the city revisiting the bylaw?
I don't think it's right that they should have an opinion on whether we have that kind of an animal.
Bearded dragon is just like a little lizard. They grow, but they're not vicious, they're not nothing.
Yeah, like they just lifted that pit bull ban, right? So what's wrong with a couple lizards?
I think it's a fair assumption to look into it. I'm not saying it's 100% a good idea, but they should probably look into it because certain animals obviously aren't as dangerous or aren't as, it shouldn't be as illegal as others. A tiger is pretty high on the chain there.
Any counselor, you can start with a petition or a request. The best thing probably is to address a letter to the clerk or to members of council and saying that you've got this bylaw. It's not in keeping with some of the surrounding municipalities. It's not in keeping with some of the practices which are being carried out throughout the province. And perhaps the City of Windsor can revisit it.
Get somebody who knows, get somebody who's knowledgeable on the subject, and maybe look at individual species as opposed to just classifying a whole group of animals as a whole. They should break it down and look at it individual. And that's what a lot of other towns and cities do. And that's the way a lot of other towns and cities have done it in the past, and they're going to keep doing it that way. And I think that's what Windsor should do as well.
It seems pretty simple. Until someone stands up, gathers a petition, and brings it to the City Council, the bylaw will stand. And if you get caught, you're looking at a fine as high as $5,000. I'm Joel Boyce, MediaPlex, News Now.